They call him a monster because they do not have a word for a man who refuses to break. They shattered him, yes, but they did not know he was made of glass that cuts when it is broken. He is not a graveyard, my daughter. He is the judgment. He took every knife they stabbed into his back and melted them down to forge a crown. He is not in pain. He is in power. It is quiet now. Can you hear that? It is the sound of the person I used to be finally ceasing to breathe. For a long time, I mourned him. I mourned the version of myself that had light in his eyes. The one who believed that if you gave love, you would receive love in return. The one who believed that loyalty was a currency that everyone traded in. I sat by his bedside for years, watching him bleed out, watching him try to stitch wounds that the world kept ripping open. I used to cry for him. I used to beg the universe to save him. But now looking back, I realized that his death was necessary. He was too soft for this world. He was a lamb trying to negotiate with wolves, wondering why they were baring their teeth when he was only offering them all. They think they broke me. That is the narrative they tell themselves to sleep at night. They tell each other that I withdrew because I was defeated, that I went silent because I was crushed. They look at the empty space where I used to stand, where I used to fight for their approval, and they smile. They think they won. They think that because the noise stopped, the war is over. They have no idea that the silence is not a surrender. The silence is a construction site. I am not broken. I am simply unoccupied by the things that used to matter. I have hollowed myself out. I scraped the hope from my bones like rust. I drained the sympathy from my veins. And in that hollow space, in that vast echoing cavern of my chest where a human heart used to beat, I have built a machine, a cold, calculating engine that runs on a fuel they cannot comprehend. I look at them now, the ones who crossed me, the ones who took my kindness and sharpened it into a weapon to use against me. And I don't feel anger. Anger is too hot. Anger is a human emotion, and I have moved beyond human things. I feel a profound, terrifying sadness for them, not because I care, but because they are walking blindly into a storm they created. And they don't even have the sense to bring an umbrella. They will regret it. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but the debt is acrewing, and I am the patient collector. Do you remember how it felt the moment the knife went in? It wasn't the blade that hurt the most. It was the hand holding it. It was the realization that the people you would have bled for were the ones draining you dry. I remember the taste of it. It tasted like ash. It tasted like the sudden realization that I was the only real thing in a room full of ghosts. I gave them everything. That is not hyperbole. I gave them pieces of myself that I can never get back. I gave them my time, which is the only true currency we have. I gave them my trust, which is the most dangerous thing to hand over. I built pedestals for them, ignoring the cracks in their foundations. I painted them in colors they didn't deserve, making them look like gods when they were just small, frightened children playing pretend. And what did they do with my gift? They viewed it as weakness. They saw my capacity to forgive as an invitation to sin again. They saw my patience as permission to disrespect. They mistook my silence for ignorance. They thought that because I didn't scream, I didn't feel the cut. But I felt it all. I felt every lie. I heard the whispers when I left the room. I saw the looks they exchanged, the knowing smirks of people who thought they were outsmarting the one person who was keeping them afloat. I absorbed it. I swallowed it down shard by jagged shard. It tore my throat. It shredded my stomach. But I didn't spit it out. I kept it inside. I let it sit in the pit of my being fermenting. I let the betrayal mix with the grief, brewing a poison so potent that it killed the boy I was. They walked over me because I laid myself down as a bridge. They didn't care that they were stomping on my spine. They only cared that they didn't get their feet wet. And when they reached the other side, when they got what they wanted, they burned the bridge. They watched me burn. They warmed their hands on the flames of my destruction. I stood in the ashes of my own life, looking at them, waiting for an apology that would never come, waiting for a sign of remorse. But there was nothing, just a cold indifference of people who believe they are entitled to consume others. That was the breaking point. That was the moment the switch flipped. I realized then that I owed them nothing. I realized that my morality was a shackle they were using to drag me down. So I unlocked it. I took off the heavy chains of being the better person. I am not the better person anymore. I am the necessary evil. Transformation is not beautiful. The poets lie to you. They talk about the butterfly emerging from the cocoon, but they forget to mention that the caterpillar has to dissolve completely to become something else. It is a violent, gooey, destructive process. I dissolved. I spent nights staring at the ceiling, feeling the darkness press down on me like a physical weight. I felt the void entering me, filling the spaces where love used to live. At first, I was afraid. I tried to claw my way back to the light. I tried to find reasons to care, reasons to be soft again. But the darkness whispered the truth. It told me that the light creates shadows, but the dark reveals what is actually there. It told me that monsters are not born. They are manufactured. And I was coming off the assembly line, a masterpiece of pain and precision. I stopped seeking connection. I stopped looking for my people. I realized that a lion does not seek the validation of sheep. I began to find comfort in the isolation. The solitude became my sanctuary. In the quiet, I could hear my own thoughts clearly for the first time. I could see the board. I realized I had been playing checkers while they were playing a con game. But now I am learning the art of war. I stripped away the need for validation. That was the hardest part. The human part of me wanted them to see me, to acknowledge my pain. The evolved part of me realized that their acknowledgement is worthless. Why would I want the respect of thieves? Why would I want the love of liars? I began to harden. It started in the eyes. The warmth left them. When I look in the mirror now, I see something ancient looking back. I see a predator that has decided to stop eating grass. My heart didn't turn to stone. It turned to ice. Stone can be broken. Ice. Ice can freeze you. Ice can burn you. Ice is water that has learned how to stand its ground. I became the winter. They don't know I'm watching. That is my greatest advantage. They think I'm gone. They think I'm wallowing in self-pity somewhere, crying over the scraps they left behind. They have no idea that I am standing right beside them in the shadows they cast. I watch them celebrate. I watch them build their lives on the foundation of lies they told about me. I watch them laugh, thinking they got away with it. They are so arrogant. They believe that karma is a fairy tale. They believe that actions don't have equal and opposite reactions. I am the reaction. I see the cracks in their lives that they try to hide. I see the paranoia creeping into their eyes. Deep down they know. The soul knows when it has violated a sacred law. They might lie to their friends. They might lie to themselves. But in the dead of night, when the distractions fade, they feel the phantom weight of what they did. They look over their shoulders, not knowing what they are looking for. It's me. I am the unease in the back of their minds. I am the chill in the air when the room is warm. I am analyzing them. I am cataloging their weaknesses, not to use them immediately, but to understand the architecture of their destruction. I know what makes them tick. I know what they fear. I know the secrets they keep hidden in the dark. The same dark that I now call home. It is pathetic really watching them scurry around trying to maintain the facade. They're exhausted. Lying takes so much energy. Pretending to be righteous when you are rotten is a heavy burden. I see them sagging under the weight of their own masks, and I wait. Patience is the weapon of the true monster. An animal attacks out of hunger or fear, wildly and without thought. But a demon waits until you are most comfortable. A demon waits until you think you are safe. I am in no rush. The longer I wait, the sweeter the collapse. I am letting them build their towers higher and higher, because the higher they build, the further they have to fall. And when they fall, I won't be the one pushing them. I will be the one who removed the one crucial stone they didn't think they needed. Gift baskets, AI features, feedback. Transform your transcript with AI-powered insights. Search AI features. Output language. AI responses will be in this language. Most used. Your top 5 features based on usage. No favorites yet. Start using features and your top 5 will appear here automatically. Popular features. Summary. Comprehensive overview. Key insights. Main takeaways. clean transcript, remove filler words, proper notes, comprehensive notes, basic content, summaries and transcripts, analysis, deep insights and patterns, study and education, learning and note-taking tools, content creation, social media and blog content, specialized, advanced analysis tools, generated content, AI-powered outputs from your transcript. Click any AI tool above to generate content here.